My name is Eli, and I'm transgender. And this is my experience of working at a gym.
Eli is a transgender person who works at a gym in Jönköping in Sweden. And before he started working at the gym, he was a regular member.
I was coming out of a long depression actually, where I didn't care for my body at all. And slowly but steady, this became my second home, where I started to feel better, healthier, stronger, and eventually socially I felt better as well.
And after a while, they offered him a job.
I was here so much that they started to joke that you're not just gonna start working here because you're here literally 24/7. And I was becoming such a staple in the community, to welcoming new people and creating a community that they were like, well, you would be great if you worked here. And then they opened up a position, so they would immediately to me like, if you want it, it's yours.
As a transgender person, he sees a lot of things that the gym industry lacks in order to make transgender people feel safe, comfortable and welcome going to the gym.
Well, the biggest issue is definitely representation. Like, we have cis people having the front face of training and sports, and that's something that's we're creeping in a little more and more. Like, we have one transgender person here and there, but there's a vast minority of trans people in the sport and gym world. And then there's, of course, like the bathroom issue and the changing room issue. Like, if you are beyond the binary, then that's not a possibility for those. And even if you are binary trans, it's hard to pre-transition feel comfortable in the gender that you feel that you belong to. Changing room. So say that you're a trans man, it's hard to go into the men's and feel comfortable in there. I can believe that it feels dangerous even afterwards as well.
And the issue with the changing room runs even deeper than that. It starts the very first time when you enter the gym to sign up.
So if you hand me an identification card, and that's your assigned gender on there, or not your actual gender, but your governmental assigned gender. When I put in your security number, you will be assigned to that gender, even though if you don't belong to that gender. And that in that process is going to create a lot of issues, because we have locks for the changing rooms in many gyms, where if you are assigned male, for say, then you are only going to be able to unlock the male changing room, and vice versa. All in all, together with the changing rooms and the bathrooms and the lack of representation, then that's definitely a huge factor why people don't come in the gym.
But there are, of course, things that need to be done. Things that would make transgender people feel safe and even excited about going to the gym.
The things we can do today, from this moment on, that doesn't involve change rooms or gender-neutral toilets or anything like that, is we can just change how we look at people, or change how we speak and speak to those people. It's unnecessary to have gendered speech, all in all, unless that person strongly identify. So if it's a trans woman, I'm not going to take that away from her and be like, no, I'm not going to call you a girl. Like, that's also an issue in itself. But for like a baseline, just take away gender speech, all in all.
Elia feels hopeful about the future.
I think there will be a natural process. The more representation that comes forward, say, just like I'm outwards towards my colleagues, they will, in the next time they do something or arrange something, they will think twice, be like, oh, there are trans people, or like, oh, there are people who are beyond the binary or non-binary, or because of their relationship with me as a colleague, they'll be more aware about it. So I think the more and more people will become more open-minded, the more and more people will come out. So that in the future we will have, when we build new gyms, we will have that in the back of our head. Like, oh, everyone doesn't conform to gender, so maybe we should have a gender-neutral toilet.
And he's constantly working with himself to help with this issue.
I need to not undermine the simple simpleness that I'm just out will create this change for people to be like, oh, there will be outside the norm people. So, but besides that, I try also to, as I said, lose the gendered language, because I do that too as well, of course. So I'll try to lose the gendered language. I try to be more aggressive, like not be afraid to ask someone if they're trans, or don't try to assume anything. That's something I need to unlearn as well, that we need to lose gendered language, we need to stop assuming and just have a more open mind about people, like we don't know, and don't be afraid to ask that.
I asked about his dream scenario for the gym world.
My dream scenario as someone who works in the gym industry is to have everything that people within the trans community dreams about. So everyone to be comfortable to come into the gym and have a good time, to feel represented and motivated to relive what I got, to find a community, find all the people within your community, to have it as a gathering point in society where you have just fun and find each other. It's really, the dream scenario is to have those gender-neutral changing rooms and toilets, and have open-minded and well-informed staff who can welcome those people without making a big deal of it.
And finally, listen to Elias' message for trans people who want to go to the gym, but for one reason or another, don't do it.
I believe that everyone has a reason why they come to the gym, and it's very hard to give one simple message to everyone to encourage them to. But in the end of the day, if this is something you want to do and it's something you want to experience and have fun at, then you just gotta go and take a leap, and maybe you find another trans person who works there, or a trans person that works out there, and you can't know that for sure before you are coming there, and before you're there you can't know. So, or you can have a horrible experience, it's really hard to say, but I can as a trans person myself encourage you to that. I think it feels more scary than it really is. If that's something you want to do, don't let the fear come in between that, because you might find your new best friend, you might find new interests, and if it sucks, then just go, or just leave and find another gym or another activity. So don't be afraid of all the horror stories you've been hearing, because it might be the best thing you've ever done,